Welcome back everyone. Today I will recap the 2023 Indonesian horror film named Waktu Maghrib. Before we start, it is a request to please like and comment on the video as it will help us to grow our reach. At the beginning of the movie, we see Karta, Rajat, and Wadi playing. Wadi tells them let's go home as it is already dusk. They both ask to wait for some more time, to which she says what if she gets kidnapped by a ghost. They both start making fun of her, so Wadi leaves alone for home. Rajat then hits the stick with such force that it goes inside the forest. Karta goes to find it, but it fell inside a hole, so he puts his hand inside to get it. Meanwhile, Wadi hears someone singing a song, due to which she gets scared, and then suddenly something pushes her and drags her away. Here, someone grabs Karta's hands as well, and when he pulls it, he finds that one of his fingers is gone. 30 years later, we see Saman and Adi taking a shortcut to go to school, where Adi bumps into Karta and falls. Saman helps him to get up and asks Karta not to hurt them, and then they run away from there. Now when they reach school, their teacher Miss Woro scolds them for getting late every other day. She tells them to go in now, and later, when the others go home, they will stay back for detention. Later, while returning home, Adi tells him he doesn't like going through the forest because of that rock, as they said Mr. Karta lost his finger there. Only then he notices that Saman is gone, due to which he gets scared, and we see a scary figure moving towards him, but then Saman scares him from behind. Now while they leave, Saman says that ghost doesn't exist and don't believe in superstitions. On the other hand, Ayu goes to deliver food to Karta, but he asks her to go home as it's almost dusk. Later that night, we see Saman trying to feed her bedridden granny when suddenly the door opens on its own. He gets scared seeing this, but only then his brother Saman comes there and he gets relaxed. Saman asks him why these honey bottles are still here, to which he says he forgot to deliver them and he will take them to Marto's shop tomorrow. Saman gets furious and tells him that he only had one job to do, and he can't even do that. He then brings his bag from inside and tells him that if these bottles are still here by the time he comes back, he really will beat him up. Now after he leaves, Saman notices a figure standing inside his house, but before he turns to look back, the entity disappears from there. The next day, they again get late for school, and Saman takes the honey bottle to school instead of Marto's shop. After school, he begs Miss Woro to let him deliver the honey or his brother will get mad at him, but she says no, and let his brother know what kind of student he is, and they are not leaving before cleaning the restrooms. That evening, we see them going to Jatipani to watch the weighing show. Adi tells him that they should pray first, but Saman says they will be late, so they will pray at the Jatipani mosque. On the other hand, Miss Woro notices that the door of her house is open, so she shuts it. Here Saman and Adi on the way were talking about how mean Miss Woro is, and he wishes she should just die. The driver asks Saman to watch his mouth, and suddenly the truck's tires explode, and Saman sees that scary entity on the roadside before their truck stops. Meanwhile, Woro hears someone knocks on the door, and she gets shocked to see that the door is open again. She comes out to check, but finds no one there, and then she shuts and locks the door. However, as she turns, the door opens again, and she gets scared seeing this. Now as she turns again to check outside, she notices someone is inside her house, and we see an entity just behind her. However, when she turns there is no one there and the door shuts, and the entity haunts her. Woro gets terrified and tries to escape, but she falls, and the entity possesses her and kills her. Here, while driver and Adi are fixing the truck, Nyoto and Mantri come there, and they tell him that they are heading to Jatijajar as Miss Woro had an accident. Now the next day, Miss Woro's funeral is held, where all the people of the villages have come. Saman is also sitting there very scared, and then suddenly Woro's ghost haunts him, due to which he gets terrified. The villagers then put Woro's coffin in an ambulance, and when they all go back, Saman goes to see Woro one last time and gets shocked to find that the coffin is empty, and everyone is giving a creepy smile to him. Miss Woro's ghost then haunts him, however, he wakes up, and it turns out to be a nightmare. Later, Adi visits him and says that he hasn't seen him since the gathering, to which he says he doesn't feel well. Adi then tells him that tomorrow Miss Woro's replacement will arrive, and he heard that she is young and pretty. He notices that Saman is not responding, and says he still thinks about what they said about Miss Woro that night. Now that evening, Saman feels as if someone is there outside their house, but when he checks out the window, he sees no one there. Only then he notices that his grandma is scared of seeing something, so he goes to her and asks her who is it. He asks her if is it a ghost, to which she says yes, and only then the door of their house opens on its own. She then asks him to look under the bed, and when he checks there, he finds no one there. However, when he gets up, he notices an entity outside the window, and suddenly Woro's ghost haunts him, due to which he gets terrified, and the ghost disappears. He then goes to wash his face when an entity comes out of the pot, seeing which he gets terrified, and as it possesses him, The door shuts. Meanwhile, Ayu's father Mardo tells her to come with him to meet the new teacher. Miss Ningxi reaches the village and the village chief welcomes her and introduces himself as Dul Rohim. He then introduces her to his wife, their security Ammon, and Mr. Mardo. Ningish apologizes for being late and tells them that she got lost and ended up in another village. Mardo then introduces her to Ayu, saying that she is one of the students in her class. Now after a few days, Saman returns to the village, and he tells Mardo that he is here to pick up the money from the honey sales, to which Mardo says he has not received any honey till today. Saman comes home very angry and starts beating Saman, and says they don't have money and he can't even be bothered to deliver honey. He asks him what does he want, to which Saman says he wants him dead. This enraged Saman and he asks him what did he just say, and only then he gets terrified seeing that entity sitting behind Saman. We then see Saman looking at him creepily and that entity moving towards Samian. It then possesses Samian, and then Saman grabs a knife and kills his brother in front of their grandma. The next day, when Mardo opens his shop, he and Ayu get shocked to see Saman there banging his head on a cupboard there. Mardo asks him what he is doing, to which Saman gives him honey bottles, and when Mardo checks it, he gets terrified seeing that it's filled with blood and Saman runs away from there. Meanwhile, Dul Rohim comes out and he gets shocked to see that all his chickens are dead and hanging outside. Later at school, Ayu sees Miss Woro standing at the entrance of the school. A guy tells her to go to class, and when she looks back, she sees no one there. Now while she is in class, she notices Miss Woro's ghost walking towards her, and she is taking Saman's name, but when she looks back, she sees no one there, and suddenly she haunts her. Later, when she returns home, she finds her dad with Dul Rohim and Ammon and tells them what Saman did this morning. Rohim says his chickens are dead and the blood is here, so they should go to Saman's house to check on him. Rohim and others then reach Saman's house, and Mardo notices an amulet hanging there outside. They then get shocked to see Saman's dead body there, and behind them, Adi and Ayu also come there. Adi gets terrified seeing this and runs away from there, and he sees Saman standing near the river. While he goes to him, Ayu also comes there with Ammon, and we see that Saman is still possessed, but when he turns, he gets normal, and Adi goes to him and asks him if he is okay. They then bring him back to his house, where villagers notice that Saman is humming something. Ningxi then also comes there, and Rohim tells her that Saman hasn't said a word since they found him, and he thinks his soul is vexed. They have contacted the police and they will take him to the district. Ningxi requests him to give her some time to talk to Saman, as she feels like she can still make him talk. Now Ningxi enters the house with Rohim's permission, and she finds Saman humming. Adi also tries to go in, but Ammon and others stop him from doing so, and during this, we see Carta watching them from a distance. Ningxi then comes out and tells them that she tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't answer her. That evening, Saman gets terrified seeing Saman's ghost in front of him, and he also gets haunted by Woro's ghost, who tells him to leave, and then he gets possessed. Later, the police reach the village, and they all get shocked to see that Saman has committed suicide by hanging himself. Now the next day at school, Ningxi notices that Adi is very sad, so she tries to talk to him. She tells him that talking about what they are feeling can help them face their sadness. So if he needs a friend to talk to about anything, she will gladly listen. She also asks him to start the extra lessons from today as exams are coming up and his scores are very low. Later that evening, the school guard hands over the keys to Ningxi, and she tells him that she will walk Adi home. After he leaves, she tells Adi that she is going to pray at home and asks him about him, to which he says he will pray here only. Later, we see him praying in the class when he feels someone's presence there, due to which he gets scared and tries to leave there, but only then does the door of the class open on its own. He thinks it's Miss Ningxi, but suddenly a chair flies and he comes out of the class, but only then he hears some noise and finds Saman mopping the floor. Saman then drops the mop and turns towards him and begins moving towards him asking him for help, and Adi gets possessed as well. The next morning, Adi's father finds him banging his head on a wall. He walks towards him asking what's wrong with him, but when he turns he is normal and he says sorry that he is still sleepy. His dad asks him to wash his face and then do his prayers, and when he leaves, we see that Adi is possessed again. Now when he comes out, he finds Carta outside his house, who runs away after seeing him, and we see the amulet outside his house as well. The next day at school, Ayu goes to Adi to ask him if he is okay, but he doesn't answer her. Now when she comes out of class, her pen falls, and when she bends down to pick it up, she gets haunted by Miss Woro's ghost. She then rushes to her class and finds that Adi is not there, so she sets out to find him, and Carta comes to her following her. That evening, a child named Bondin is playing outside his house when Adi comes there and calls him to play with him. Now the search for Adi and Bondin begins, as they both were missing, but even after searching for the whole night, they could not find them. The next day, Ningxi requests the students to go straight home after school, and once they reach home, they must pray so that Bondin and Adi will be found soon. Now after school, Ayu meets Ningxi and asks her does she get something yesterday. She asks her what does she mean, to which she shows her the amulet and tells her that it's to protect her from evil spirits. Ningxi asks her where did she get this, and then tells her to go home. Now in the evening, everyone starts taking their children inside the house, but Ayu starts going to pray. Mardo tries to stop her saying things are bad, but she leaves there saying she wants to pray so they can find Addie and Bondin soon. On the other hand, Rohim tells Imam that he doesn't think anyone else is coming to the mosque. Imam tells him that this is a test, and at times like this, they should be even closer to God. Meanwhile, Ayu finds Addie sitting in the middle of the road. He gets up with a dead animal and sickle on his hands, and as he turns towards Ayu, she gets terrified seeing that he is possessed. Here when Rohim hits the drum, he notices its sound is off and finds blood dripping from inside it. He goes to check it and gets shocked to see a dead body inside it, and he tells Imam about it. Here Addie starts moving toward Ayu, and she starts running away from him screaming for help. Rohim's wife gets scared seeing Addie chasing Ayu, so she calls her to her house and shuts the door. Only then she remembers that she hasn't locked the back door, and before she can close it, Addie barges in, and he begins moving towards Ayu humming a song, but before he could attack Ayu, Ammon knocks him down. Later, while Mardo was waiting for Ayu to return home, he hears some noise, and when he goes to that side to check, he gets terrified seeing Saman's dead body there. On the other hand, the villagers grab Addie, and the Imam tries to control him by reciting some prayers. Soon after, he becomes normal and spits out some black liquid. We then see Karta in his hut, creating an amulet using some black magic. Here Rohim tells Kassan that something must have possessed Addie, and then Ammon tells them that earlier when Bondin regained consciousness, he told him that he was taken to Saman's grave by Addie. Addie dug up the grave and then placed Saman's body at Mardo's house. Rohim says he is certain that something is violating Addie and something is messing with this village. Only then Kassan tells them that at dawn yesterday, he caught Karta placing this amulet out of his house. Mardo checks it and says he also saw an amulet like this at Saman's house. Ningxi asks them not to jump to a conclusion as they don't have solid evidence, to which a villager says Ammon's and Mardo's statements are clear evidence, so they should find Karta and make him confess. They then reach Karta's house and drag him out, and he asks them what did he do wrong. Kassan shows him the amulet and asks him what is this, and says his child is possessed because of him. Karta pushes him and tells them that they are all under a spell, and then all of them begin beating him to kill him. Mardo and Rohim try to stop them, saying this village already has enough problems, so let's not add more to it. The next day, Ayu tells Mardo that she is sure that Karta didn't do it, to which he says let's just leave it to the village chief and the authorities. Now after he leaves, Ayu hears someone whispering her name. Only then Ningxi visits her, and Mardo leaves them alone saying he needs to sort out his shop. We see that Ayu is scared of Ningxi, and Ningxi says she heard what happened to her last night. She tells her that last night she paid a visit to Karta's place, and asks her does she visit him often. We then see that Ayu went to Karta, and he made her an amulet to give it to her new teacher. He tells her that the red sky is a sign, and the air feels exactly the same as what he felt 30 years ago, and if his guess is correct, she is a jinn, the Black Mother, who feasts on children. He tells her to give it to her, and if she reacts, be careful, and he will try to find a way to make her leave this village. Ningxi sits beside her and asks her does she wants to know something. She tells her that she remembers Karta, and his face as a boy, and he looked like her. Ayu shows her that amulet, but Ningxi grabs it as if it doesn't matter to her, and Ayu gets shocked to see this. Ningxi tells her not to believe in superstitions, or she will end up in harm's way. Miss Woro's ghost then appears there, and Ningxi asks her if she was her favorite student. She says she is lucky, but reminds her to stay out of this and that she will get her turn just like her friends. We then see that Ningxi told Saman to kill himself, and here we see a glimpse of her true form. She was there laughing when Addie was healed, and even when Karta was beaten, she was enjoying the moment. Meanwhile, Karta remembers the night when he was found by the villagers 30 years ago, and there, Rajet's dead body was also found nearby. Ayu then visits him and tells him that Addie is in danger, so they need to save him. He asks her how does she know, to which she says she got a message from Miss Woro. On the other hand, Kassan tells Addie to let's go pray, and when he leaves there, we see that Addie is possessed again. Here Karta gets frightened as he hears prayers from the mosque, to which Ayu calms him down and tells him that prayers are not his enemy, and God isn't either. Karta then knocks Ammon out, and he tells Ayu to go save Addie and that he will take care of her teacher. Ayu visits Addie's house and tells his dad that Addie is in danger. He calms her down and goes to check in on Addie's room and finds that he is not there. Here Karta sneaks into Ningxi's house, where she tells him that she still remembers how sweet his finger tasted. She then reveals that Ningxi is actually Wadi, and she asks him if has he forgotten about her. Now in a flashback, we see Wardy in the forest, and she notices Jinn levitating in the air with Rajet's dead body in her hands. The Jinn controls her and moves her hands towards her, and Wadi holds her hand. Back to the present, she tells him that his friend is getting old, so it's time for her to get new clothes. Karta curses her and tells her to go away, and then the Jinn comes into his true form and throws him away with her powers. Karta gets up and realizes that he has to destroy the lair, and meanwhile, we see Addie in the forest going towards the river. Here Karta reaches the lair with petrol and a lamp and begins throwing it on it. However, before he could burn it, the lamp goes off and Waddy's ghost tells him to go home, due to which he gets scared and falls down, and only then Rajat's ghost haunts him. On the other hand, we see Addie moving towards the Jinn, but Ayu reaches there and tries to stop him. Rajat's ghost asks Karta doesn't he want to play with him again, to which he says sorry and burns the lair, causing him to scream and then disappear from there. Karta then begins reading prayers, causing the Jinn to leave there, and when Ayu reaches him, he faints. The next evening, in some other village, we see a kid playing near a river when he hears a song, and he sees that Jinn standing some distance away. He then gets possessed, and the movie ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.